Okay, so this is like day 7 of being stuck in whatever we're stuck in because of Scalisi, and he's not taking it so well. I mean, it's his own damn fault that we're here, though. But let me show you what's going on. Oh, Jesus Christ! What are you doing? What the hell is this? Dude, are you trying to scare me? Motherfucker, I've seen you eat floor cheese. You're not gonna do anything for me. What? Where'd you get that mask? This is stupid. This is a stupid bit. I hate this. I hate all of this. The fucking tree's still here!
Slacktoberfest.
Uh-oh. It looks like we have another installment of Slacktoberfest on our hands. And I'm very happy to say that today's installment is an episode of something that I'm very happy to be bringing back. Netflix picks. Okay, so if you're not familiar, I've done Netflix picks like maybe twice, and Netflix picks is basically me talking about underrated movies that you can find on Netflix. A lot of people like to ask me, hey Khalil, what are some good movies on Netflix? Netflix picks is a very good way of me saying, hey, check these hidden gems out on the Netflix. So whether it be Netflix exclusives or just movies that are easy to find on Netflix, I'm going to talk about them right here on Netflix picks. So let's pick some flicks on the Netflix. Also, for Slacktoberfest, I decided to do some new lighting stuff. So, yeah. Also, it's raining. So I don't know if that's going to add a cool effect or if it's just going to be a pain in the ass. But this is really the only time I can film this one. So this is either going to be pretty cool Halloween thing, or it's just going to be a big mess of a review. Either way, let's talk about the movie that shares the name the ladies had for me in high school. Creep was directed by Patrick Brice, and it stars Patrick Brice and Mark Duplass. Creep is a found footage thriller in which our protagonist, Aaron, is a videographer hired by a mysterious client to film him for $1,000 a day. As I'm sure you can tell by the title, his employer isn't exactly a normal gig. I mean, he's a creep. He's a weirdo. What the hell is he doing here? He doesn't belong here. You see what I did? You see what I did there?
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is gonna be a good day.
From here on out, this is basically a two-man show with Mark Duplass's Joseph running things. For most of the film, what keeps the audience engaged is Mark Duplass taking this role and fucking sprinting with it. His performance is ridiculously high profile for a low-budget found footage horror flick, and the movie soars because of it. Duplass can be a creepy ass dude, but he's also genuinely likable. So you can't tell if he's a psychopath or just socially not good. Essentially, the viewer is Aaron, the protagonist, who is just a passenger on this crazy train conducted by Joseph. Aaron, who is pretty much the cameraman for this movie, also just so happens to be the director of the movie. For a guy who is basically just supposed to react to crazy, Patrick Brice gives a solid performance here. He's the perfect vessel for the audience to live through. It's so rare in a thriller that we just see a normal dude in these situations. Normally, it's someone who's a bit melodramatic. You know, someone who's screaming with snot coming out of their face and just a lot of shit going on, you know, in horror movie performances. But with this, he's just a dude. He's just a normal guy. And when a normal person is actually terrified, it can be kind of funny. I found myself laughing during many of the more intense scenes of the film, only because of how real it felt. And honestly, this film could almost be considered a comedy. I firmly believe that comedy and horror go hand in hand. Both genres are seeking to get a certain reaction out of a person, whether it be a good laugh or a good scare. And it takes actual craft to get that reaction out of an audience member. And when you meld the two, you can get some truly beautiful results. Because when you're on edge in an intense situation, all of your emotions are kind of heightened. So instead of going for a scream, This movie takes advantage of putting you on edge by going for a laugh. Like, have you ever been just legitimately yelled at by a parent? Like it's terrifying. You know, when you're a child and your parent is just screaming at you. But then when they, like, mess up when they're yelling at you, like they say something wrong, it's just the funniest shit. Like, normally, like, outside of that situation, it wouldn't be. But because you're in this terrifying situation, and you know there's this one little sliver of humor, you're like, oh, this is hilarious. This film is incredibly manipulative, with making you feel exactly what it wants you to feel. Which is way more than I can say for most other films in this genre. People tend to ask me what's my favorite genre, and I don't really have one. But I think my least favorite genre would probably be found footage. You can't really give found footage style or incorporate filmmaking techniques because it's just a camera flailing around relying mostly on jump scares and overdramatic acting. It's just cheap and easy, which is exactly why we saw such a flourish of them for a time. One of the only found footage movies that felt like it had character depth and actual story was the genre's flagship movie, The Blair Witch Project. Also, just a side note, I actually did enjoy the sequel to Blair Witch, which was Blair Witch. I don't know. I liked it. A lot of people didn't. I just want to throw that out there. Go check out that review. But that's not what we're talking about today, so let's move on. Creep is that Blue Moon found footage flick, and it has that one thing that other found footage movies don't. Substance. I'm glad my Italian hand thing is, like, popping up in these videos. Like, this isn't even something that's scripted. It just pops up. Substance. Creep's plot is actually interesting, thrilling, and fun. Oh my. This movie is basically two guys and a camera. And because they actually gave a shit about what they were creating, that's all they needed to make an entertaining movie. It's honestly super cool and inspiring to see. As long as you have passion, the tools that you have shouldn't limit you in creating something great. Much of this movie is improvised. Like, they just decided to make this thing and just wing it. So many of the scenes were improvised on the spot. They would record like 10 to 12 versions of each take and then go into the editing room, see what works and what didn't, and then the next day, just go and work off of that. And more than anything, that's what I look for in a movie, is the passion. Like, are the people here wanting to be here? All right, it's rating time. So, here's the thing. I'm going to implement a new rating system here, because the numbers are just difficult. There's so many different number scores that I look back at, and it's like, oh, that deserved just a little bit more, that deserved a little bit less, because opinions on movies change over time. But I do have just a general, that was amazing, that was meh, that was awful. So what we're gonna do is like a few different things, but until I figure all the rest out, for Creep, I am going to deem it shelf-worthy. And by the way, shelf-worthy is pretty much like highest praise, because like if I want to fit you up here somewhere, that's good. That's the best compliment I could give your movie. It's putting it up here. So yeah, Creep, shelf-worthy. I don't know how many times I'm gonna do that. We'll figure it out. I just kind of came up with this like right now, so yeah. Anyway, I decided Creep should be a part of Slacktoberfest because it's perfect for this time of year. This is a good gateway movie into getting you into like a creepy, eerie mood. It's short, it's simple, and it's entertaining as hell. So when you're scrolling through Netflix on one of these spooky October nights, take Creep into consideration. Anyway, that was that. That was quick. That was easy. I love you guys. As always, watch movies, my friends.